Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Weston Racing, and in today's video we're back for another episode of Monster Truck Diecast News Weekly. However, we're not really doing a news video today. You see, once again, there is no news this week. So what we're going to do instead is cover some things that I have been wanting to cover and that you guys have been asking to cover that we'll just get out of the way so that way when we get back to a normal news video, we don't have to try and insert all of it into there. So yeah, if you're here looking for any major diecast news headlines, you've come to the wrong place this week because, like I said, there's nothing. And as I said last week, that's to be expected. When you hit quarter three of the year, there's not going to be a lot of diecast news. That's just how it is, sadly. But yeah, that's basically all I really got to tell you on that. Hopefully we'll get some cool stuff coming in the near future. But yeah, well, I'm just holding out hope at this point that we're going to get some fun stuff happening when we enter quarter six, because October 1st is when quarter six starts. So yeah, we just got to make it through September and things should start picking back up a little bit, which will be nice. With that being said though, yes, today we are going to be covering three different things that I've been wanting to go ahead and cover. So there's going to be no hot drops, no headlines, no real world action. Rather, we're going to kind of twist each of those. The first section of today's video is going to cover something that it's a big announcement that I would like to make about myself and something I'm going to do at the end of the year on this channel. Our second thing that we're going to cover here today is kind of just a recap of everything that was revealed at the Toy Fair that we have yet to see appear yet from Spin Master. And the reason why I want to bring that up is because via a new commercial that just hit on YouTube, we have insight as to what the next wave of minis is going to contain, which is really exciting. And then the other thing is at the end of the video, because a lot of people have been asking me to do it, even though I wasn't going to, because quite frankly, I didn't care enough to do it. But because people are asking, I will be covering the Monster Jam 2026 schedules at the end of the video. Because, like I said, I couldn't care less about them. Like, they've never... I think the Monster Jam schedules are so overhyped. It is ridiculous to me that people care that much about them. So I really wasn't going to talk about them, but because people are asking, I'll do it. Just because you guys are... you come and watch my videos, so I'll give back to the community a little bit here and I'll talk about them. But... yeah, with that being said, let's get right into it. And if you're expecting things to be on the screen, don't. This is probably going to be more of a listen than watch type video anyways. For our first section here, we have absolutely zero pictures for this. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it with our first section of the video. I'll put up a headline so that we have a little bit of a guideline here. But yeah, first section of the video is my major announcement introducing the Monster Truck Diecast Awards. This is going to be a cool video that I'm going to do at the end of this year, maybe the beginning of next year, depending on when it comes out. It should come out right at the end of 2025, roughly. And this is going to be an extension of the Diecast News Weekly series, since this has been absolutely incredible. I mean, seriously, I went from having 500-ish subs to 2,000, 2,100 because of this series in the span of 3/4 of a year. That's pretty impressive, and I honestly think it's all because of this series. So I wanted to celebrate a little bit, and how we're going to end off the year is we're going to do an Oscars style award show where there's going to be multiple categories where you guys can vote for your favorite truck in each category. To give an example, on Facebook I ran a trial run of this a while back. It was the category for Best New Spin Master Identity. And there were 6 candidates. They were Bailey Circuit, Wildside, JCB Digatron, Classroom Crusher, K-Rex, and what was the other one? Jambulance. That was the other one. Those were the 6 options. And then you basically got to pick which one was your favorite. Out of those 6, which truck was your favorite? I have already, that poll has already ended. I have collected the data on it. There was a very clear winner of that one. But that question is not done and over yet, because there are 3 other places that you will be able to go and vote for that exact category. The way that I'm doing this, because I don't have a set website for it yet, the way that I'm doing this is that there is going to be 4 set locations that you can vote for each category. So if you are, paying attention to each of these 4 locations, you actually can vote. You can do 4 votes for 1 truck per category. That's kind of how we're doing this, because the numbers are going to be averaged out anyways. The first location that the polls are going to show up is the Monster Truck Collecting Facebook group. They're going to be up for, each poll is going to be up for 24 hours exactly, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, United States. That is when the polls are going to start, and that is also when they're going to end. So keep in mind, when a poll pops up, now you have an idea of how long it's been up for and how long it will be up for, exactly 24 hours. At the end of the 24-hour period, I will collect all of the data from that poll, and I will delete it so that way nobody is allowed to touch it from that point forward. The 4 locations in which you are allowed to vote are, in order in which they're going to pop up, the Monster Truck Collecting Facebook group. Then the second location is going to be both the Weston Racing Instagram account and the Monster Truck Diecast News Weekly account. Both of them will get the same poll at the same time, and then those two will be averaged to form an Instagram data, right? We're going to have the Facebook data, the Instagram data is going to be the 2 accounts averaged. Then the third location is going to be YouTube, right here on the channel. That'll be the third location. Once that's complete, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube would then all be averaged out to give the final numbers for how many votes, or rather the percentage of votes that each of the 6 trucks in that first category would receive, and the winner is whoever has the highest percentage. I know that's a lot of math, and for the younger audience, you probably did not understand any of that, but for the older audience, especially the nerds, it's good to know how this is all mathing out, right? Eventually, there will not be all these different averages and stuff. It'll quite literally be, you go to a website, you vote for your favorite truck. You can't see what anybody else voted for. You can't see who's winning. You just submit a vote, and then I can see which one's winning. And then I don't have to average anything out. It's just literally just, that's the truck that won. Ding, we win. There we go. So yeah, there's going to be like 20 categories that we're going to do. It's mainly going to be Hot Wheels Monster Trucks and Spin Master Monster Jam. However, there is going to be a singular category for Monster Machines as well, because all the categories basically, to give you a sneak peek, are going to be like Best New Identity, Best Series, Best Mainline Series, Best Individual Truck, Best Superstore Truck, and then like at the end, it's going to be Best Spin Master Truck, Best Hot Wheels Truck, Best Monster Machine. And then whatever the winner of each of those categories is, will give your final 3, and that'll be the votes for Best Monster Truck Diecast of the year. And then we'll see, quite literally, what was the best monster truck toy of 2025. That's kind of what we're doing. I wanted to make a announcement for that to let you all know. Hopefully it'll be at the end of the year. And yes, I can confirm, because I said at 1,000 subscribers I was going to do a face reveal, and I have yet to do that. I can confirm I will be on camera for this award show. So if I don't do the face reveal before then, that is your official confirmed face reveal video for Weston Racing, will be the awards show. There you go. That's all I wanted to say for that. I don't know, because at the end of the year, I do want to post a 2025 year in review video like I do every year. So that might come out before, or it might come out after the awards show. We don't know. I say we, I don't know yet. So we'll see about that. But yeah, that was my huge announcement that I wanted to make. Basically, go ahead and follow the Monster Truck Collecting Facebook group if you haven't done that already. Follow my Weston Racing Instagram account. I think the link to that is in the description. Also, go check out the Monster Truck Diecast News Weekly Instagram account. We do posts on there every single week. It's basically meant to be a time capsule. It's never, the Monster Truck Diecast News Weekly account is not meant to be up to date with the news. It's just meant to be a time capsule of everything that's come out in 2025 from the big brands. And that's kind of what we do on that account, just for, for fun. That's pretty much all it is. But yeah, with that being said, everybody, also, if you're not subscribed to the channel, again, I'm not saying you should subscribe to the channel. Only subscribe if you like the content, but that is also a good way to know when the polls drop on YouTube, because like I said, all of the votes do matter. And yeah, we're going to put this together. I think it'll be really fun, and I'm excited to see how it turns out. But yeah, that's the end of that. Let's go ahead into the second section of the video, where we are going to look back on the New York Toy Fair and basically recap everything that has not been released yet. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because mainly everything revealed at the New York Toy Fair that hasn't been released yet is minis. And the reason why I'm showing this off is because via a new commercial that just dropped for the Cobra's Crazy Escape playset, we kind of have a confirmation on which of the leftover minis are going to be in Series 20 and which ones are going to be in Series 21. Because keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, we normally get 5 waves of minis a year. At least that's the new pattern that I've noticed. Now, because of that, that would imply that Series 20 coming out this year, the next set of minis, is not the last set of minis coming out this year. We still have another one after that, which is 21. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. With that being said, however, what I do want to cover is basically everything left over at the Toy Fair. And what I want to start with is I want to start with the two 164 singles that we have not seen yet. And first up is this pseudo hyper-fueled Gravedigger. The reason why I wanted to cover this one is because this, along with this black-bodied dragon, are believed to be in the Series 34 double packs. This is not confirmed. This is just a very, very well-believed theory. We don't know if this is true, though. But yeah, basically, these might be future double pack releases. It is believed that to be true, you know, just because that's just how that all maths out, is like that. So yeah, I think that's cool. Is the Megalodon Freebird double pack coming in the next set? Who knows? Maybe. We'll see. But yeah, wanted to run over those real quick. Also, another thing I would like to point out is that there is a Monster Jam Mini Jams, the actual Wild Mini Jams 5-pack that will be coming out at some point, and it comes with a mystery mini jam, which, if I'm being completely honest with you, I have no clue which one that is anymore, because I think I have an idea as to what the next couple of chase pieces are going to be. I'm gonna be honest with you, I really have no clue as to what this what's going to be in that multi-pack. It's going to be interesting. But anyways, let's take a look at the singles, the singular minis now, and go ahead and take a look at what's to come. Starting off, we have this Gravedigger, which has yet to be released. See, when this was first dropped, the flames were different than the standard one, which led me to believe that this is going to be some form of a chase piece truck, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, we still have this variant of Gravedigger that's going to come out. And we also have this variant of Megalodon, which we have not seen yet. Very basic, but there's a reason for that. Digatron has another variant coming as well. This is a chrome-based Digatron, which leads me to believe that this may be a future chase piece. We have no proof of this, though, because to my knowledge, if that is coming out this year, that'll probably be Series 21. Sparkle Smash, however, is one of the very few that I think I can confidently say will be in Series 20 of the minis, because, again, it was in that commercial front row and center alongside Dragon. And not only was it alongside Dragon, but it was also alongside El Toro Loco. So I think, if I got to be dead honest with you guys, I think Series 20, if I had to pin an actual guess as to what the new mini jams or the new wild minis are going to be in Series 20, here is my official guess. For the common ones, we have the Sparkle Smash, the Dragon, the El Toro Loco, and the Monster Mutt Dalmatian are the ones that I think are going to be the commons. And then the rares are going to be Gold El Toro Loco and Ghost Dalmatian. That's my guess for Series 20. Again, there's no confirmation of this, but going off of that commercial, I think that's what we can expect. As for Series 21, I would like to imagine that we're going to see Megalodon, the Gravedigger, probably that weird Digatron that might be a chase, also a possible chrome chassis Chase Thunder Roarus again, but I doubt it. And then, most interestingly, this weird looking, almost like black light-ish dragon. I don't even know what this thing is, but yeah, that could also be in Series 21. Those are my guesses, but mainly I wanted to bring all that back up just to let you guys know that that was something that happened recently, was we got to see all those again. But yeah, just wanted to bring that up and let you guys know that Series 20 minis are once again growing ever so near to being released to the public. Any day now, I would like to imagine. Any day now. But yeah, there's that. And then let's go to the final part of the video, the thing that everybody's been bugging me about, the 2026 Monster Jam schedules. Now, as I said before, I'm really not too interested. That's not what I'm trying to say here. I really did not care too much. Like, I went through the schedules. There were things I didn't like. There were things I liked. But at the end of the day, we're still going to end up with 5+ Gravediggers at the world, with, 5 Gravediggers at the World Finals, bunch of El Toro Locos, bunch of Megalodons, bunch of Sparkle Smashes. It's like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. We all know, literally everybody who was on the Facebook group saying that the schedules were great or complaining that the schedules were bad or whatever are literally going to come back half a year later and complain that there were world champion drivers who didn't deserve to be in the lineup. It's the same crap over and over and over again. They're like, it's so annoying, absolutely annoying. But what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to look at the schedules themselves. I'm going to talk about new trucks, new drivers. I'm also going to point out there are a couple issues that I have with the schedules. There's also a couple things that I kind of like. And we're going to break them down one by one. We're going to go starting with the Arena Series, East to West, and then we'll do Stadiums, East to West. So here we go, starting off with Arena Championship Series East. To start off, we have Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger, MJ Solario in El Toro Loco, Logan Ashline in Sparkle Smash, Cody Saucier in Dragon, John Zimmer Sr. in Megalodon, John Zimmer Jr. in Terminal Velocity, Triton Robbins in Crazy Train, and Montana Robbins in Plain Crazy. So that is the lineup for Arena Championship Series East. Really, I have nothing to say about this other than I thought it was interesting that they swapped John Zimmer Sr. out of Zombie and into Megalodon. I thought that was kind of interesting. My man is literally driving anything but uproar at this point. Also, Logan Ashline and Sparkle Smash, yeah, that is a call-up for her as well, truck swap, but I'm not quite going to say my thoughts on that just yet because you don't know well, you probably do. You've probably seen plenty of people mention it. In fact, if anything, I think what I'm going to say about that is probably the biggest complaint that people have about the schedule. We'll get back to that in a second, though. So there's that, and then here are the locations of Arena Championship Series East: Kansas City, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Providence, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Allentown, Little Rock, Hampton, Biloxi, Hartford, North Charleston, Tupelo, Florence, Columbia, Greenville, and Worcester. I think that's how it's pronounced. I don't know. And then you got Salt Lake City for the World Finals. So, yeah, there you go. By the way, keep in mind, a lot of people didn't seem to understand this. Even though this happens every year, this is not an official schedule. There may be more places added. There may be places that get canceled. Keep that in mind. Specifically for the stadiums, keep that in mind. So there's that. And, yeah, honestly, I don't really have any gripes. That just looks like a standard arena lineup to me. I really didn't have anything to say about that one. Like I said, my main complaint is Logan Ashline driving Sparkle Smash, but you don't know why I'm upset about that yet. Give me a second, we'll get there. Well, I guess I was also upset about the fact that Dragon returned because I hate Dragon, but still. Anyways, moving on to Arena Championship Series Central. Here we go. We have Weston Anderson in Gravedigger, Fernando Martinez in El Toro Loco, Brianna Mahan in Bailey Circuit, Tony Oaks in Thunder Roars, Michaela Talachka in Megalodon, Brandon Talachka in Zombie, Charles Pauken III, or CP3, or Chucky Pauken, whatever you want to call him, will be driving Classroom Crusher, and Kylie Kent in Sparkle Smash. So here's the full lineup with the drivers and everything. Sorry, if you're confused on what I'm doing here, as I'm reading them off, I'm showing the specific trucks, and then I'm showing the lineup because I find it, okay, I'm not going to lie, I find it really stupid that during the schedule reveals, there aren't pictures of the trucks. Because let's be honest, most of the kids don't care about the drivers. They care about the trucks. Let's be honest, all right? It's weird to me that when they market the tours, they don't put pictures of the trucks next to the drivers. That is very strange to me. But anyways, here it is. And as you're going to notice, this is a Freestyle Mania tour. That's right. Arena Championship Series Central is all Freestyle Mania. I am with that. I think that's super cool. Because I thought Freestyle Mania was just going to be a one-off fluke. Because let's be honest, Freestyle Mania, the 5 shows they did, boring. Super boring. The only good part of those shows was the dirt bikes, because the whole rest of the show just felt like a standard arena event. So them incorporating it in as an actual arena event just with dirt bikes is pretty cool. I think that's pretty fun. I like that. So I can get behind this. Now, let's talk about the individual details here. Bailey Circuit joining the lineup as a brand new, never before seen truck in the points series. I also like to point out that we have 2 new drivers on this tour as well, that being Chucky Pauken and Kylie Kent. These 2 drivers have never ran in the points series before, so that's super cool. Also, for those of you who don't know, Kylie Kent is alongside Send It Motorsports with Terminal Velocity and Uproar. She drives Frostbite, the polar bear. And Chucky Pauken, I think, is a mechanic for that team, if I'm not mistaken. He was originally supposed to drive Excalibur, I thought. I don't know. I don't know the story behind that one. You guys are going to have to fill me in. I would also like to point out as well that we have an interesting change up here with Freestyle Mania. Digatron and Dalmatian have been removed from the lineup and replaced with Bailey Circuit and Zombie. So that's really interesting. Also, Brandon Tolochka will not be driving his new... My man literally makes a new identity for himself and then doesn't get to use it the next year. That has to be really annoying. So Living on the Edge will not make its Point Series debut this year, which kind of sucks. But there is your lineup for Arena Championship Series Central. And here are all the locations right here. Here goes my reading ability yet again. Greensboro, Nashville, Newark. Man, I've never even heard of that place before. Milwaukee, Belmont Park, Buffalo, Rosemont, Wilkes-Barre, Toledo, Grand Rapids, Green Bay, Albany, Columbus, Hamilton, Evansville, Cincinnati, Manchester, and Salt Lake City. Newark, New Jersey. I have legit never heard of that town before. All of these I've heard of. That one I've never heard of. That's interesting. I'm going to have to Google that. But, yeah, there you go. There's Freestyle Mania, ladies and gentlemen. Honestly, I know maybe it's not the lineup and stuff, but I think bang for buck, I would catch a Freestyle Mania show just for the dirt bikes. At least that's me, because I think the dirt bikes are super cool. Also, that just reminded me, we're going to get to see a Zombie and a Bailey Circuit dirt bike this year. That's going to be really cool. That's going to be really fun. We'll cover those when they drop the 2 new dirt bike designs. That's going to be neat. So there's that, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and jump over to our final Arena Championship Series, that being Series West. Here we go. We have Matt Cody in Gravedigger, Armando Castro in El Toro Loco, Ashley Sanford in Megalodon, Blake Granger in a to-be-decided truck, Alex Barton in Earthshaker, Carson Williams in Monster Mutt, Tim Hall Jr. in Jurassic Attack, and a to-be-decided driver in Velociraptor. I have an update for you guys. The driver of Velociraptor has been decided. Known for driving the veteran on the Toughest Monster Truck Tour, Tyler Groff will be taking the wheel of Velociraptor in 2026 and apparently in 2025 a little bit too. It is unknown at this time if he will be running his own design, but as of right now, it has been confirmed that for the rest of 2025, he will be driving the blue Velociraptor. I also would like to add a note here because it would appear that Devin Winfield has retired from monster trucking, at least for the time being. We here at Weston Racing wish him luck at whatever venture life brings him going forward. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get right back into the Monster Jam schedules. So there are a lot of things that need to be talked about here. First off, my man Armando got pushed back into the arenas. That turbo sucks. That is actually one of the biggest issues I have with the new schedule. My man got a taste of the stadium life for 1 year and they kicked him back to the arenas. That hurts. That has to hurt. And what makes it suck even more is you're going to see like why they did that, and it really sucks. Alex Barton driving Earthshaker is really fascinating. Not because of Alex Barton himself, no offense to my guy. He's a pretty good driver. It's interesting because I thought out of all of the trucks we were not going to see in 2026, Earthshaker was the number 1. I'm actually really shocked to see Earthshaker here. That's kind of shocking. I would also like to point out Carson Williams in Monster Mutt. This is cool because this means that Carson Williams is now officially the second driver in history to drive all 3 Monster Mutts. That's pretty awesome. I think that alone is a big win there. And Carson Williams and Monster Mutt's pretty neat. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Blake Granger not having a truck is really fascinating because why? Why doesn't he have a truck? My man literally just took home a world championship behind the wheel of Dalmatian, and they're putting him in a new truck. Not only are they doing that, but I'm going to spoil it for you. Dalmatian is nowhere to be seen on the schedule. That is strange. I would also like to point out that it says to be decided, not to be announced. I think a lot of people are thinking that Blake Granger is going to debut a new truck. I disagree. I think they're going to put him behind the wheel of a truck we've already seen. Heck, I think they're probably deciding whether or not they're going to put him behind the wheel of Dalmatian or Rottweiler. And the reason why I say that is because there's another driver that has a to be decided truck that I genuinely think also they're trying to decide if they're going to do Dalmatian or Rottweiler. For basically, they're picking who's going to drive what kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Blake Granger's going to drive Rec Deck. We'll see. So, Salt Lake City, Utah, Reno, Sacramento, Fargo, Denver, Oklahoma City, Wichita, Portland, Fresno, Nampa, Tucson, Vancouver, Des Moines, South Haven, Huntsville, Lincoln, Moline, and Salt Lake City. This tour both starts and ends in Salt Lake City. That is really fascinating. So yeah, lots of interesting. This is probably, in my opinion, the most interesting arena tour. I think that one's going to be really interesting because, like I said, there's a lot of interesting trucks, a lot of interesting drivers, and there's also a TBD driver and a TBD truck. There's a lot going on this tour. It's really weird. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump over to stadiums now with Stadium Series East. This is I would say out of the two stadiums, this is the normal lineup. The other one that we're going to show off here in a second, which is West, is very interesting. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Starting off, we have Adam Anderson in Gravedigger, Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash, Tristan England in JCB Digatron, Cynthia Gautier in Lucas Oil Stabilizer, Colt Stevens in Thunder Rorus, Camden Murphy in a to-be-decided truck, Kevin Crocker in Megalodon, Joe Foley in El Toro Loco, Jim Kohler in Avenger, Chris Kohler in Mayhem, Matt Pagliarulo in Jester, and Mike Pagliarulo in Excalibur. So there are quite a few things that we need to talk about here. Starting at the top, Jamie Sullivan has been moved to the stadiums. That's awesome. I'm actually really excited about that. She came in behind the wheel of Dalmatian and proved that she deserved to be in the stadiums. I do think it is kind of nuts, though, that she got moved up to stadiums before Blake Granger did. And Armando got kicked out of the stadiums. That's kind of nuts, but yeah, that's really interesting to see. Camden Murphy in a to-be-decided truck. Now, there is a rumor going around that he will be driving Bailey Circuit. However, I have seen absolutely zero proof of this. So, yeah. And again, I don't think so, because I'm going to spoil it again right now. If that's the case, Classroom Crusher will only be on Freestyle Mania this year. They will not have a stadium Classroom Crusher, which would be wild. So again, I think honestly, this is going to sound super dumb, and this might just be a really bad guess on my part. I think for Blake Granger and Camden Murphy, they're going to end up in the trucks that they drove last year just for popularity reasons. Like, I don't know. I don't know, like, what else could they possibly... Maybe Camden's going to drive Blue Thunder on a whim? I don't know. Like, I have no clue. It's super weird. Also, next thing I want to point out, both Megalodon and El Toro Loco on this tour are being campaigned on independence. I don't know if they've done that before, but I did think that was really interesting, hence why I pointed that out. Next thing I want to point out, Nick Pagliarulo is MIA. Kraken is gone. And I'm going to tell you all, he's not on the other tour with Brooke. That was one theory, was that Nick was going to be on the other tour, well, on a different tour with Brooke. That is not the case. Kraken is actually not going to be in next year's points series, which is really fascinating. But yeah, there's your lineup for Series East. Honestly, pretty tame, especially considering what we're about to look at here in a second. So let's take a look at the locations. We got Orlando, San Antonio, Indianapolis, Minneapolis, Miami, Tampa, Louisville, Albuquerque, Detroit, Atlanta, Philadelphia, Austin, and Salt Lake City. Again, keep in mind, that is not all of the stops. There will be more at some point. Keep that in mind. But yeah, that's all they really have to announce right now. Now, here comes the fun part. This, I'm not even kidding, not only is the lineup of trucks weird, the lineup of drivers is weird, and not only that, the locations that this tour is going to is weird. Like, it's very strange. So, here we go. Stadium Championship Series West. Tyler Menninga in Gravedigger. Ryan Anderson in Son of a Digger. Kayla Blood in Sparkle Smash, Bari Musauer in Zombie, Bryce Kenny in the Tech Deck Rec Deck, a to-be-decided driver in Bailey Circuit, Jamie Garner in El Toro Loco, Deidre Garner in Megalodon, Cole Vennard in Black Pearl, Zach Garner in Wildside, Mike Christensen in Vendetta, and Dalton Widener in Shell Shocked. What a roller coaster, am I right? So I guess let's start at the top and work our way down, shall we? Starting off, Adam and Ryan have been separated. Ryan Anderson will be on tour with Tyler Menninga this year. I'm actually kind of happy about this because it would be really cool to see somebody actually take Tyler on and stop his win streak of tour victories, because I've said it before and I've said it again, man. You can like Tyler Menninga all you want. You have to admit that a lot of his victories are undeserved. Like, he's a great driver, don't get me wrong, but being the fan favorite driver in the fan favorite truck is so unfair. Like, the fan judging screws over everybody whenever he's on tour. That's just my 2 cents I want to give. I'm glad Ryan is on tour with him because it's going to be cool to watch Ryan take on a non-blood related Gravedigger driver. That's going to be cool to see. Kayla Blood and Sparkle Smash. If you have been keeping count, we have 4 Sparkle Smashes. Let me say that again. If you have been keeping count, we have 4 Sparkle Smashes. If Arena Series West would have had a Sparkle Smash, there would have been 5 Gravediggers, 5 El Toro Locos, 5 Megalodons, 5 Sparkle Smashes. Why are there so many Sparkle Smashes? That is ridiculous. And if Camden Murphy is in Bailey Circuit, there will be 3 Bailey Circuits on its debut show. Sparkle Smash is only a year old, and Bailey Circuit will not even be a year old. It'll be only a couple months old with maybe 3 trucks running. What is happening? What is going on? This is out of control. What is this? Like, I feel like there should have been some drivers placed in some different trucks here. Like, honestly, I feel like they could have brought back Whiplash for one of the female drivers. Like, why are they all... Like, I get Sparkle Smash is popular, but again, the truck is only a year old. Like, come on, what are we doing here? So, yeah, that's what I wanted to say there. Again, Bryce Kenny, Rec Deck making its Point Series debut. Bailey Circuit making its Point Series debut. Dalton Widener, Shell Shocked, making its Point Series debut. I'm not going to lie. I was kind of expecting him to drive Shell Shocked, and I think it's pretty cool that he's going to be driving Shell Shocked. I think that's pretty awesome. What's really interesting to me, though, is not only do we have Jamie Garner, we have Deidre Garner and Zach Garner. That is going to be really fun to watch. I'm not going to lie. Having the full family out there, that's going to be really cool. So, yeah, there's that going on as well. To be decided driver for Bailey Circuit, we'll see. I really don't know what to say about that. But yeah, there you go. That's that lineup. And if you thought the stupidity was over, you are dead wrong. Look at the schedule for this. San Diego, Anaheim, San Diego again, Anaheim again, Houston, Houston again, Anaheim for a 3rd time, New Orleans, El Paso, Birmingham, Oakland, Denver, and Salt Lake City. Who scheduled this tour? They need to be fired immediately. Because apparently there are only 3 places to hold Monster Jam events on the West Coast or on the west side of the United States. Who planned this? This is terrible. This schedule actually sucks. This is horrible. However, there is one thing I do care about. Denver, Colorado, and Power Field at Mile High. If and only if I actually make it to a Monster Jam show this year, it'll be that one. Like I said, if and only if. It's expensive, okay? You gotta be justified. I am a diecast collector. I collect multiple brands. Money is not something I come across very easily. If I do manage to make it to a monster truck show, I probably will not announce it beforehand because, look, I love you guys, but I don't do well with in-person people interaction. So I will probably not announce it. But yeah, Denver might be the show that I'll be at. We'll see. Maybe even the World Finals. Maybe I'll skip Denver and just go straight to the World Finals. We'll see. But yeah, that's that. And yeah, crazy. Honestly, I'm going to be dead honest with all of you. Stadium Championship Series West is easily, in my opinion, the worst schedule out of them all. For lineups, I would say easily that has to go to Arena Championship West. That lineup of both trucks and drivers is weird. It is so strange. But yeah, I guess that's really all. I mean, okay, to be fair, Stadium East is also pretty strange with the way they did that. All of that aside, that's that. Okay, before we take a look at the World Finals schedule, I want to include this into the video. The to-be-decided driver of Bailey's circuit obviously has not been decided yet, and Blake Granger and Camden Murphy do not have trucks that they're going to be in. However, I, as well as a couple other people, have been theorizing as to what this truck is going to be, or trucks are going to be, and we have come to a conclusion that while is incredibly unrealistic, actually does have a chance of being real. So let me break it down for you. It is at least my belief, my theory right now, and there's no proof of this except for what I'm about to show you as little key pieces of evidence that make me think this. I believe, and I am theorizing, that Blake Granger and Camden Murphy might campaign NEA police in 2026. Again, I realize that this is very crazy. This is a crazy theory, but I do have reasons as to why I believe this. First off, Spin Master recently regained the NEA police license for Diecast. So, if anything, we could be getting a diecast in the near future, but why would they make a diecast of such an obscure truck that would literally require them to make a brand new casting? Well, as realistic as it would be to just be like, it's Spin Master and nothing they do makes any sense, it would be more logical to assume that there's got to be a good reason for it. And my belief is that it could be because NEA Police is coming back to life here soon. We did see Northern Nightmare and Backwards Bob be campaigned for singular shows a while back, with Chris Kohler behind the wheel of Northern Nightmare and Dalton Widener behind the wheel of Backwards Bob. So what are the chances that we could see NEA Police? Well, my other theory as to why I believe this to be true is because, well, I got to remember because I don't remember what my other theory was. Hold on a second. I really should have wrote it down because I genuinely cannot remember what my other reason was. However, I will say this. Them bringing back NEA Police back to life would be a good idea because if you think about it, the genre or the group of people, the main audience that thought NEA Police sucks, they're not kids anymore. They have aged up. They're not really the main target audience of Moss Gym anymore. So with a new target audience, they could try a truck like NEA Police again to see if they can get it to become popular once more. I don't know. My main piece of evidence right now is that NEA Police has had its toy license regained by Spin Master when they had it originally in 2019 when we were supposed to get NEA Police as a diecast. They seem to have regained it recently, which is really interesting. It also would appear that we could be getting new Yeti trucks from Spin Master as well, which is also insanely fascinating. I don't know, guys. This is all just theorization. I am aware that this is kind of a crazy theory, but if I end up being right about this, this is going to be the most insane theory that I have ever gotten right in my entire career on YouTube. So I'm throwing it out there just in case it is right, then I will have physical proof that I predicted this. But yeah, that's basically all I can really give on who is going or what Blake Granger and Camden Murphy will be driving is, as I would guess, NEA Police. And it would make sense too, because keep in mind that their trucks are to be decided, not to be announced, meaning that they're not new identities. They're trucks that we've seen before. And wouldn't it make sense for it to be NEA Police because we have seen that truck before? So yeah, I'm very, very curious to see what they're going to be driving. If that is the case, it's going to be really weird not having Dalmatian at all. And it's also going to be even weirder that Classroom Crusher is being demoted to Freestyle Mania and pulled out of the stadiums. But it's going to be very, very strange. But yeah, there you go. There's my theory. I just wanted to throw that out there, like I said, because if I end up being right, that would be really cool. Let's take a look at the World Finals schedule. They dropped the World Finals schedule, which I thought was strange. Like, I don't know why they did that. And there were three major things that I noticed. And the things that I noticed were this. First off, they have expanded the field to 28 trucks. The main field is now 28 trucks and drivers. That's pretty cool that they're expanding the main field. I'd say that's a positive. Next thing is a negative. Two-wheel skills and high jump are now during the qualifying day. Why? That's the day that nobody shows up for. You're holding two actual world championships on the day that that most people don't care about. Why? Like, I get it. Last year or this year at the World Finals in Salt Lake City, two-wheel skills and high jumps, turbo sucked. Those were easily the worst parts of the whole event. They were awful. It was like nobody was trying during either of those events. So I can kind of understand maybe like, okay, if nobody's going to try, we're just going to put them on the day that nobody's going to show up for. Then we don't have to worry about nothing. Then the final thing that I noticed, and I am actually super excited about this, they're going to end the whole World Finals with the fireworks show. This was something that I wish they would have done last year, because ending the entirety of last year's Monster Jam World Finals with Tyler Menninga's hilarious freestyle attempt that he did was a horrible way to end a world championship. It was basically like going to a concert, and then instead of like they get ready to start and play like the big final song for the night, and then they all just walk off stage and that's the end of the concert. That's pretty much what it felt like. That last year's World Finals ended so abruptly, it was nuts. Having the fireworks show at the end of the thing, and I know this is such a small thing, I think that's huge. That's a small thing that in my opinion is huge, because it's like, we're going to end the World Finals in a big way regardless of how people perform. That's cool. I was going to say they should bring back encores for that specific reason, so that way the show ends on a high note. I'm glad they're doing this. You guys may disagree, but that is my honest opinion. And that is all I got for today's video, guys. I hope you all enjoyed this weird, like, Weston Racing podcast kind of thing. Should I start a podcast? I need more subscribers if I'm going to start a podcast. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is really all I got for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next episode of Monster Truck Diecast News Weekly. Good day and good news.